Coming up now, we have Brands for Competitiveness, Creating Sustainable Growth. I'm going to invite onto the stage now Farrukh Alimdjanov, Industrial Development Officer of the Department of Digitalization, Technology and Innovation. Joining us from UNIDO, Farrukh is going to come and join me on this side of the stage where I am currently standing. He will be joined on his panel by Nigina Ikromi, Chairwoman of Creative Development of Tajikistan. Robert Harutyunyan is Chairman of Development Association of the Light Industry of Armenia. Eba Muschialli is Associate Industrial Development Officer at UNIDO. And Ricardo Trujillo is Director General of CIIQ Cuba. Dr. Michael Humavindo is Deputy Executive Director at Industrialization and Enterprise Development at the Ministry of Industrialization, Trade and SME Development in Namibia. Thank you so much to all of you for joining us remotely, we have to say. Farrukh, your panel is entirely remote. It's also, you have representative of every single continent on Earth. So it's a really, really interesting panel, a really interesting session that's coming up. We know we're going to hear about how brands have transformed not only companies, but industries and regions. The floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Sarah. We indeed quite challenged within our session to basically update on the results of UNIDO in the area of creating brands for sustainability, and also to show how we're expanding not only our geography, but also going with some, I will be promising some debuts, some launching of the new brands that we developed throughout the year. And our jet will be virtually moving indeed throughout the world, from Europe to Asia, to MENA region, to Africa, and then to Latin America. So you're very much welcome to this session, which is called Branding for Competitiveness and Creating Sustainable Growth. Well, we've been speaking about the value of brands, the need to evaluate economic impact of the brand. So I would love to start with this. I think it's one of my famous slides, depictions of the brand, how big the value of brand is. So basically, this is also having some heritage when we were developing the cotton, textile and garment value chains earlier. So what you see on the screen, when from $1 costing 1 kilogram of cotton, we could have reached sometimes 10 times increase of the cost when you're coming to the final garment production. I was stopping my analysis usually, but when we enter it by doing the work in branding, we enter the world of branding, we captured the value of the branding, we introduced it to our value added chain. So I would like to use the second slide to show how the value is increasing times, 100 times, and the price is endless. Value added, the margin is endless when it comes to the branding and industrial design. So this is why we're looking into branding and industrial design together as the part of the intellectual value added. So the branding and industrial design are called to build a new model for us for the intellectual value added in our activities. This is why we appealed to the industrial branding, and we build up partnership with our very good friends from European Brand Institute 2 years ago. I've been witnessing this morning during the press conference how we started 2 years ago and how we fastly moved to the concrete joint activities. We signed an MOU in the very beginning of the lockdown this year, and we are here also to harvest some good results that we are jointly developing. So in the next slide, I would like to show you that what we put under the branding, it's not only branding, it's not only giving a logo, the name, the reputation of the company, which are incredibly big, of a big importance to the companies, to the value added. Before bringing any product, any cluster, any SME, any industrial park, region or the country with the new brand, we make sure, first of all, that the products behind, the companies behind are competitive, they're producing quality, the market demanded product, they're attractive and ready, what is important, ready for the mass production. Talking business language, we will never get to the opportunity to create additional job, value added and income if your product is not commercialized. That's why we're really putting a lot of efforts to branding as one of our innovative way to improve the marketing of our companies. The next slide shows what we actually harvested in the beginning of this year. So one of the projects that we showed last year, if you were part of our Brand Global Summit in 2019 in April, we were showing the results of Tajikistan, that how we could have more than doubled employment at our small and medium enterprises, how we more than doubled exports within only 3-year range. In the next slide, I would like to show you the new updated figures for Armenia. The increase of exports went to 3.6 times within the time frame of 4 years. The companies were with us. We have clear, objectively verifiable indicators attributing all this support to the role of UNIDO projects, including branding. So you could see that we more than doubled the employment. This is the most satisfying results that we could see from all of our projects. But what we also did together with our partners from EBI, we made additional analysis on return on investment. So basically showing what investment were put as the technical assistance funding. For instance, by the time we were having this analysis for Armenia, we have been more or less absorbing 2.5 million euros as technical assistance, which already generated jobs, exports for the comparable amount, but what returned back through the taxes is even more. It's you can see it's a range of 4 million euros from the 3 million technical assistance investment. In Armenia, these figures are even higher. You can see it from the next slide, that we even have distribution of this range, that with a little bit more than 2.5 million technical assistance invested through our project by our donors. I will be speaking about our donors later on. We could have more than doubled. Break-even was taking in 2.5 years, and in 4 years the results were nearly doubling. So this all brings us to the understanding that this is of the interest of the donors. I would like to take this opportunity to thank the donors of the project. We will be showcasing today is the government of the Russian Federation, is the Foreign Ministry of the Republic of Finland, and it is CIIQ of the government of Switzerland who are supporting the project, which we'll be showcasing today in Armenia, in Tajikistan, in Cuba, in Namibia, and in MENA region, in Morocco, in Tunisia. So this is where we stand, and actually this is what we harvested earlier. But let us hear rather from the beneficiaries. Today, the panel is all digitalized. We're also benefiting from the time that we're going digital. So we're having our participants from all continents, our traditional beneficiary continents, and we're having representatives from the private sector, from associations, from the ministry, from research institutions. And let us make our imaginary jet to go to Tajikistan. Let us meet Ms. Nigina Ikromi, Chairman of Creative Development of Sunny Tajikistan. She's also National Handicraft Consultant Director. She's also a member of Consultative Council on Improvement of Investment Climate under President of Republic of Tajikistan. Nigina, you're very much welcome to join us. Let me trigger maybe our discussion, your update of what is happening now with Tajikistan by posing the following question. What do you think the key role has the established Lal textile brand played in the revival of the sector? Job creation, especially among women and other vulnerable groups. And in all new markets that it created, what do you think the work that you're doing, being part of it, what branding played a role in achieving all these socioeconomic results? Nigina, the floor is yours. Nigina, are you with us? It's one technical issue. Indeed, maybe Jet is taking some time to get to the destination, but we must be there. We might, meanwhile, maybe appeal to our participant from until Nigina is joining us back. Let us speak of Armenia. Our speaker is Robert Harutyunyan, chairman of the Development Association in the Light Industry of Armenia, DALIA. I'm very happy to welcome you again, dear Robert, even during not very easy times for Armenia. Thank you so much for being available to join us again. We know you supporting our project in different capacities, and you've been with us for many of our good events. And Robert-Jan, this project was one of our first pioneer in harvesting macroeconomic gains from introducing the umbrella branding. It was indeed a champion. This is where the first time we were told, hey guys, you're doing innovative work. So thanks you to testimony last year, we all witnessed tripling exports, more than doubling employment figures in Armenia under this umbrella brand. You might have some news for us, updates on the latest achievements of the project, and especially did the brand play a role during the uneasy COVID-19 times? Could you kindly update us? The floor is yours.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, good. First of all, Mr. Alimdjanov, thank you very much for giving this opportunity to be with you, to be on this very important, I think, event, because really I was listening to all our participants, and actually I'm agreed that branding is one of the main, let's say, success factors for every company or even every sector of the countries. Actually, I would like to give some information about the project. I know that some of the people who are already with us for the different times of this event, they heard about this project, but if you will allow me, I would like to give some information how the project was developed, how was the sector created, etc. So actually my cooperation with the project, which named Improving Competitiveness of Export-Oriented Industries in Armenia through Modernization and Market Access, which, by the way, as you mentioned, was financed and is financed by the Russian Federation, for which we are very thankful. It was started in 2014. At that time, I was director of Armenian Development Agency and also became the project counterpart and chairman of the project advisory board. The project aims at increasing the productivity, competitiveness, export capacity of Armenian manufacturing companies, which operating in apparel and footwear industries. And actually the UNIDO project has built local technical capacity to support SME development and modernization, and also to position Armenian products as high-end design goods. This was really achieved by upgrading technical capacities in innovative fashion design and modeling, and also promoting business networking and export promotion. For this purpose, the project initiated the creation of a joint brand. In the beginning, we were thinking about to create, how we need to proceed further. And actually the idea of having some umbrella brand, which will join different companies from the sector, came to us. And actually the project developed a joint brand, which we named 5900 BC. to expose the new collections prepared by different companies under this, as I said, in a single label. Actually, the brand, the name of the label has a prehistory actually. Why 5900 BC? Because it was elaborated, as it was elaborated by the project team, it was based on revelations about the world's oldest skirt made from the straw, which was discovered in Armenia and which dates back to 5,900 years ago, and BC stands for the best collection. So we made some type of, I suppose, creative branding to introduce our traditions, our heritage, let's say, in this sector, and also to create interesting approach to attract the attention of the companies. So in 2015, actually, when I became a member of Eurasian Economic Commission, when Armenia became a member of EU, my cooperation actually with the project entailed supporting the project in establishing business networks within the EU market and also to support export activities. And as a first step towards export promotion, at that time UNIDO organized a fashion event in 2015 where we presented the first 5900 BC joint collection, which was produced by the garment producing companies. So thanks to the efforts of devoted, let's say, professionals, the 5900 BC clothing, I mean this brand clothing, combines the best of Armenian garment making traditions and the latest European trends. You can see from the pictures on your let's say screens what was the development of the project. You can see some pictures showing the development of the project. So in 2016 the project was expanded to its second phase to involve other sectors of Armenian light industry, namely footwear production. So with the UNIDO's team, technical assistance, fashionable and quality footwear products were also created under the same brand name. So we combined overall 11 garment and 2 footwear, I mean created 11 garment and 2 footwear collections under this joint umbrella brand, which, as I said, called 5900 BC, and established catalogs, our official website, and also started to promote this product outside of the country. I suppose in the coming future, because you asked what should be the next steps or what is the current situation, I suppose the next step will be to create our own online trading platform, maybe for 5900 BC, and I suppose that I hope that the UNIDO project will also help in this. So as part of these export-oriented activities, the 5900 BC joint collections were showcased at various international and national exhibitions, fashion shows, business platforms, and other events. Even we have presented it in as you remember, in Vienna last time when we were there, and also we make some showcase of our products there. But also in different, let's say, fashion shows in Moscow, in let's say, in different other countries. So participation in these various platforms under an umbrella brand actually open up opportunities for the Armenian manufacturers to gain recognition, which is very important, establish business networks, and sign export contracts with the biggest store chains in the region, and especially in Russia. As you know, the Russian Federation is one of our main, let's say, trading partners and main markets, especially for garment, clothing, and footwear sector. So this creation of this umbrella brand, I can say, is a vivid example of how brands create prosperity for a whole sector, because there is a lot of participants from the sector who joined this idea, who joined the project, and who at this moment benefits from the, let's say, project that UNIDO implementing in Armenia. So in August 2018, 10 garment and footwear manufacturing companies, as I said, joined these efforts for more efficient export activities, and light industry export consortium was officially established to facilitate joint exports under the brand 5900 BC. So actually we have created the vehicle which allowed us to institutionalize the achievements that UNIDO project created in Armenia. So after creating a brand, after establishing the awareness about the brand in the region, and I suppose also in other countries, not only in the region, we created that mechanism which will allow to organize the export, let's say, export from Armenia of sector products. As you mentioned already in your presentation, dear Farrukh, results of the project implementation was really tremendous, and now we see a lot of let's say developments that we have in the sector. The new jobs was created even more than I mean twice, as you said. I'm telling these figures compared to the beginning of the project, which is about 2016 mainly, and in 2019 we had already twice of the employment. 2.5 times, as you mentioned now, of the employment in the sector. We increased the salaries, as you mentioned, right? And also we showed that it is possible to make Armenian light industry sector as one of the leading sectors in the country. And it is mostly export-oriented sector, so it was very important for us what results we can achieve in turnover and in exports. And what is, I mean, I need to say proudly that the figures of export, I mean, the number in exports that we achieved, it was 264% that we had. This is really tremendous, I suppose, achievements for the project. So actually in February 2020, the 2020, as you mentioned, as you asked, what is the current development? In February 2020, as you know, the project was extended to the phase 3. Unfortunately, we after that faced the problems with, as all the countries, we faced the problem with the COVID-19, and COVID-19 for sure had some and have still has some impact on the economy of Armenia and also on this sector. So, but during the COVID-19 outbreak, we can say that the importance of the brand was highlighted even more. It became an indispensable tool for communication, networking, and sale on a digital platform. People should know the brand in order to buy it. We need to, I mean, creating a brand, you create a trust towards the company, towards the products, towards the country and the sector. And in that case, even, I mean, during the COVID-19, the creation or establishment of that brand name that we had and awareness that we did during the UNIDO project allowed us to overcome easier, not totally, but easier to overcome the problems or obstacles that COVID-19 created. And we started to sell the products on a digital platforms. And I need to say that with the support of the project, 6 companies started online sales through the biggest regional online sales platform, which is Wildberries. So the project organized online marketing training aimed at development of online sales tools and skills during the pandemic crisis. So the companies were trained how to sell it online and how to create, I mean, become more efficiently in this case. So I can say that in response to this situation, the project switched to digital way of conducting a series of the capacity building trainings. You can see also from our, I mean, pictures that on your screens, the center that was created by the project, UNIDO project, and this center has purpose of not only training the people, but also support them to create their own collections. So we can say that UNIDO made a very quick response to the pandemic-related crisis, and which affected the, let's say, the economy and including our sector, especially our sector. So the project identified challenges and needs which faced by the SMEs at that time because of COVID-19.
Thank you very
So
much.
based on that information which we received from this, let's say, surveys, the UNIDO project with the partnership, in partnership with the Light Industry Expert Consortium, developed, we can say, a multi-partner trust fund, which aimed at supporting the SMEs to become resilient amid and post-pandemic situation. It allows the companies to diversify their products by producing PPE products to align with the common needs arising from the situation. So on the other hand, it helped the companies to continue I'm sorry, their operations and employees not to lose their jobs, which became one of the main problems. I'm sorry. So, the success of 5900 BC inspired the project team to create a new brand aimed at further development of light industry of Armenia. It called Space 59. It's yet another brand initiated by the project, which stands for the New Light Industry Training and Service Center. As I said, you saw it on your screens. There were some pictures of the center. And the center, the name symbolized the space full of creative industrial fashion solutions with innovative technologies and expertise aimed at providing full training and service facilities for the light industry sector. So by providing access to the broader pool of expertise in industrial design and product development, this improvement and marketing of this space, 59 will become an important, I suppose, will become an important platform to enhance light industry human resource potential and also contribute the capacity building in different fields, namely as pattern making, industrial engineering, fashion illustration, virtual phototyping, and so on and so on. So the creation of 5900 BC, I suppose I can state that comes to prove again that the brand is an important tool to create an image, gain recognition, gain trust, and run a successful business. So under the joint brand, working under the joint brand, I suppose we can say that it creates several privileges. First of all, this is cost reduction in marketing, cost reduction in PR and export-related activities because it is combined. You understand what I mean. This is easier and faster recognition on the market because all efforts towards the creation of the brand, it is focused and concentrated on one point. And also the quality standards that, because when you create the brand, you should look to the quality standards and you should also work with the companies to increase their capacity to assure the quality standards. So it is very important. This is the main let's say, benefits that sector and companies receive by working under one brand name, as I said. I'm finishing actually in the end. I would like to say that in 2018, actually, I became chairman of Development Association of the Light Industry of Armenia, and the main purpose of association is to support the local producers to increase the productivity, competitiveness, and gain new export markets. So association has started to cooperate closely with the UNIDO project towards getting better business conditions for the companies and promote export-oriented activities. So we continued the successful cooperation with the UNIDO also during this third phase, and I'm really sure that we will have much more, tremendous results of the first, after the third phase as well. So thank you very much once again for inviting me to this event, and thank you very much for the attention.
Robert Harutyunyan, thank you so much for your very thorough update of what is new in the project, but also I lived through with you. You made such an excellent detailed walk through the project, how we did it. It was also like, I think there will be a lot of still questions, but I think you also gave an answers to many questions of how we're doing, how we're building the joint umbrella brand, how we're harnessing the macroeconomic results, how we're harvesting the macroeconomic results, making the companies work under the joint brand. And thank you so much also for emphasizing how important digitalization, going digital, was for the companies to continue their businesses to ensure the resilience. I will be very happy to hear also from, I can see Nigina is back online, so I'm greeting you, Nigina, again efficiently. So also like referring to your experience, you are a beneficiary of this company, of this project in Tajikistan, which was started in 2015. And also you've been witnessing how we're doing it from the perspective of the training institution. Already in my introduction of yours, I was basically listing all your titles, including you being chairman of Creative Development Sun in Tajikistan, and National Handicraft Director. So I just wanted to reiterate my question to you. What do you think the key roles established by this project, LAL textile brand, played in the revival of the sector to take inspiration from the traditions, and also how this brand was instrumental in creating jobs for vulnerable groups like women, and also refugees and abandoned women especially. The floor is yours, Nigina.
Hello to all the participants of conference. I hope you can hearing me. Yes, you can hear me.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah, so I didn't prepare the presentation actually, but I will show you the result of the project with a good and beautiful pictures that you can enjoy during my speech. And we were waiting for this conference since the beginning of the year. Finally, we are here with all of you. And thank you very much for giving us opportunity to participate. Okay, actually, the Tajikistan now is, government of Tajikistan is really paying attention to the development of private sector. And the last few years, they preparing several products on supporting of private sectors, small and medium enterprises and business companies. Especially, they are mostly focusing on textile and handicraft sector, at the same time tourism and rural development area. So I can just shortly, maybe briefly, can talk about how the government at the moment supporting our sector, this sector. There was actually government program for supporting of carpeting and carpet weaving and ikat and atlas weaving. So this program is continued. The government want to continue this actually program, that it will give the opportunity to private sectors to develop and more than they have at the moment. And also since 2018 years, our president announced 2018 years, since 2021 years, it's FOLCARD, rural area and tourism years. This give to more than private sector, small and medium enterprises, especially handicraft sectors, textile sectors, embroidery, carpet weavers, all the sectors of handicraft, type of handicraft, they provide support. It will be really good support. Especially I can bring the sample how exactly they provide the support. And now 104 type of handicraft is free of the paying of the taxes, so they can have an official register in the tax, government tax registration, but they don't pay the fee taxes, but they can be official registered. That it is really good support and good achievement from the for the artisans also. And also at the moment, the government puts the national strategic goal. So it's industrialization of the country that also gives the possibility in textile industry, handicraft, folk art industry to develop more and to start producing from the beginning of the product to the end of the product, everything to prepare in the country involving all the sector. So at the moment, all the SMEs using this opportunity, but at the same time, they have to take these opportunities to improve their skills, to improve their knowledge, and to develop their product, and to be not only for local market, but also to be in international market and to export their product. With this, sometimes at the moment, some of them, those who wanted to be in export, they face the problems with the marketing problems, business communications, preparing the new product that international market required, functional product. And those who were in Tajikistan, they know that how the rich of our culture, you can see in the pictures, how too colorful is our product, but each the market of the countries, different continents requires their own requirements for the trend, for design, for quality. So that's why here business sector, those who work in textile sector, on carpeting, on handicraft, they have to work on this to be in international market, even if they want to be in local market also. So now at the moment, so we are working with the UNIDO project since more than 5 years, or since the beginning of the program, of their implementation of their program in Tajikistan. And it covers the issue of industrial modernization and economic empowerment of women and other disadvantaged social group, seeking to strengthen productivity, export and employment generation, capacities of the national carpet weaving and embroidery and textile sector. So project at the moment, I can say that could support a lot of more than 25 beneficiary companies working on textile and embroidery. They already did a huge work on producing and of new high quality products that answers the demand of the market at the moment. And also they provide really good technical support, education support, also capacity building through the different kind of trainings. They increase the knowledge of beneficiaries of these companies. So they support them to be in the market also to improve their business communication skill, marketing skill. And all the result of all this project, you can see the result of this project that products that have been prepared and worked on new design, quality, considering of marketing, all the aspect of the to be the product in international market. They under the one umbrella, they launched a new brand that in 2018 years by the Ministry of Trade and Social and Economic Development of Tajikistan, it was named as one of the best national brand. It's Lal Textile. So I can see that this Lal Textile, we all the country at the moment, Tajikistan, we really love this brand, Lal Textile. The name of also, it sounds also national, but at the same time, it's really simply pronounced, and it already says that it covers also our culture, heritage, tradition, and improving the local brand to international market or as well. In our point of view, what I can tell that Lal brand, what it can give, it really supports our beneficiaries, artisans, enterprises, small and medium businesses. It really connects them all together. So first, it has a social economic impact. So because it supports not only business artisans, but it also covers to support women in rural area. You know, Tajikistan is mountain country, and most of our partners, beneficiaries located in the region. So it support to get them, to support them to be in the market, to develop their product using of their potential and their possibilities also. And project this law textile brand supports them to increase their knowledge, to work, involving experts to work on new design product and new functional product. Because before enterprises trying to be in market, even in local, they just bring the product that there is, like is it in our ancient times that our mothers, grandmothers make. Of course, it's really beautiful, it's really hard work, take too much time also. So, but it's now we should put our steps on the modern life and should consider our today's life and to make it more simplicity, more unique, still using our culture, tradition, and giving them possibility also to be
competitive,
to
I would
support
say,
their
and
family, also financially support their family, to grow, especially for women also, a lot of women, because embroidery, textile, it's a lot of women working mostly on this sector. So it's really good support for women also who is working in rural area. And another building that it's another good part of the Lao brand, it's a capacity building. They provide to all the partners, beneficiaries, women, everyone who involved under this umbrella of Lao textile. They give them not only to prepare the product, but also to teach them step by step how to grow, how to promote their brand, how to prepare new high quality product, unique product, and at the same time they are supporting them to promote, to sell their product also in local and international market.
Thank you, Nigina. Thank you, Nigina.
Yes.
Just for the sake of the time and also to give other speakers an opportunity to showcase their results, I would like to thank you for this brilliant actual overview of what the project has achieved, and also your very women perspective of not only seeing only industrial side maybe in it, only the competitiveness side. You marked importance of how important it is to be able to commercialize this product, not in the rather small economy of Tajikistan, but really being oriented to the bigger markets, but also your vision of how the cultural heritage played the role in making this brand so popular, so driving the entire economy, creating the market. And actually, it was sometimes for me a shocking news, but when we are learning that our brand started to be copied, I was approached by our EBI colleague saying, Farrukh, it's a good sign. You are popular, you're good, you're being copied. Yeah. So thank you so much for your availability to showcase this project during our summit. I would like to now move to the Southern Mediterranean region, where my dear colleague Ebe Muschialli, who is basically, we're sharing the same department with her, she would like to brief us on what the brand what other role the brand can play in creating regional brands. Not only to promote the regions, the typical products, the geographical indications to which these brands are associated, but like we could have witnessed last year in Montenegro, it indirectly also promoted tourism to this sector. Ebe, if you're with us, I can see you're with us. Thank you for being with us today, and thank you for your patience. Can you answer to my question of what key role the branding power plays in empowering lagging regions in MENA region, in Tunisia and Morocco? And what special role the national contest for the typical food played in this success. Abby, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Farrukh. Thank you for giving me the floor, and thank you for inviting us to present this new tool that UNIDO has been developing over the past few years, the National Contest for Typical Food Products. And yes, your question is quite right, and we've been asked this question several times, and why UNIDO should work on typical food products. And we've been asking it ourselves to us, and then several partners keep on asking this. And the answer, I think it's pretty straightforward, because as we've heard from Tajikistan and Armenia, they are dealing with textile, but with typical food products is almost the same. These products are produced generally by women, majority of them. Very often they are produced in remote areas, and producing typical food products becomes the only economic way for this population. Besides the fact that they are also very much anchored to the territory, and then they contribute to the preservation of biodiversity. Then why we work on this? Well, it's our mandate, and it's to support the achievement of the Sustainable Development Goals and to make sure that no one is left behind. UNIDO, you said we share the same department, has been working over the past 20 years on clustering, on strengthening the cooperation of enterprises at the local level, both within companies and between companies and support institutions. And we've seen the two cases before my intervention are clearly cluster or networks project. And over the past 10 years, I would say, we have been focusing more and more on typical food products. And here, I mean, you see in the slide some of the modules of the methodologies, approaches that we have developed, besides, of course, the pure branding one that you presented in your introduction. We have a methodology that supports the setup of associations for geographical indications. We have different methodologies for facilitating the market access of this product. One of those is the integrated cluster approach, where we try to link the territory both with cultural industries or handicraft, local food products, and tourism. And then the last baby of the series is that the setup of national contest that we are talking about today. Unfortunately, I mean, I'm very passionate about this topic, but I will not have time to go into details, otherwise it will last forever. But I hope that the participants will have the occasion to see, to have access to the PowerPoints, and then they will also have access to this link, which is on our YouTube channel in any case. And it's a very short video animation, and in like 3 minutes, you really have the occasion to see what the contest is about. But in a nutshell, I would say the contest is a national event that allows to bring together around typical food products, both consumers and producers. And what is extremely important for today's conference is that the contest is designed, organized, and conducted with and for the consumers. And this is extremely important, because the consumer is the center of all this. So we are the center of all this. And when you talk about consumers, then you need to attract them. And we needed to develop a branding strategy. And for us, the brand is the logo or the contest itself. And here you see the two examples of the contests that we helped to set up in Morocco and in Tunisia. This adventure started in 2013 under a project that is called PAMPAT, which is the French acronym for a Project for Market Access for Typical Food Products. which is a project that UNIDO was implementing and is currently still implementing under some funds from the Swiss Secretariat of Economic Affairs, so SECO. And the methodology was a Swiss methodology that we tried to adapt to a southern Mediterranean context and products. And here you see the two logos of these two contests that we helped setting up, and the declination of the logos into the medals, the gold, the silver, and the bronze medal. So the award, which is the branding for us, has several purposes, depending on which side you look at. So from the consumer point of view, the award is a certification, is a testimonial that the product is of good quality. And how this is possible? Because the products are tested by a tripartite jury. And in this tripartite jury, you have the specialists that certify that the product respects some quality and some standards. You have a producer that is the warrant of the tradition, and you have the consumer that at the end of the day is the one that will buy the product. So by having this mixed jury, you make sure that you have a very good product that is also not a product to be put in a museum, but is a product that will be having for sure access to the market. The award also helps strengthening the belonging to the territory, because we all have our favorite food product, no? Related to the country we come from, to the province we come from, or to the countries we visited. And by putting an award, by putting a medal on the product, we recognize that this product represents that region and represents something that is untouchable, that is passion, that brings back memories of a good moment or of a good sensation or a specific taste. And this strengthens the communities on the ground. From the producer side, of course, all this is very important, but it's very important to be recognized and to be acknowledged as a producer of something that is specific and typical. So it increases, the award increases the notoriety of these people, which has an impact clearly on the sales of these people. And also, and I will come towards the end of my talk on this topic, but it helps closing the gap between the consumer and the producer. And therefore, you cut some actors, some intermediaries in between the consumer and the producers, and this increases also the margins that they can get. So we've had these two experiences, and there also you can have you can see the videos of the two contests. Just to give you a rough idea, we are talking about 500 to 600 products that are tasted into 5 main categories generally. So we group products, and then we have categories and subcategories, but we are talking about 500 to 600 very different products, from jams to honey to meat products to breads and so on and so forth. So once you have the brand, you have awarded the producers, you need to strengthen the link of these producers and these products to the market. And this was done, for example, by supporting the national organizations of the contest, signing memorandum of understanding or signing partnership agreements with big retailers. And this is the case of Carrefour in Tunisia. And then you see that the products are exhibited and, of course, sold in big quantities. Another type of promotion is the trade fairs, the international or national trade fairs. And we also supported the national institutions in developing a promotional plan. And they came up with this show cooking with some very famous TV chefs that are using only products awarded by the medals. And then this has a clear impact on the sales, because then people want to imitate and they want to create the same recipes. We've been saying it, I've heard it during the presentation earlier, and now also by my colleagues, branding without media is nothing. There needs to be a communication campaign, and here you can see some billboards in Casablanca, the main city of Morocco. You can see some interviews on the Tunisian TV and on the Moroccan TV, and this was essential to promote the brand. Now, we have this experience of having a contest in Morocco for 3 years. In reality, UNIDO supported only the first years of the contest, and now both contests are organized by the national institutions, the Agency for Agricultural Development in Morocco and the Agency for the Promotion of Investment in Agriculture in Tunisia. And this is also a good sign that this brand is sustainable, because it's running by itself now. Last year, to make sure that it was really sustainable, we did a survey among the producers, and the results are very encouraging, because 30% of the producers that were awarded in the contests declared that thanks to the contest they could gain 30% more markets or clients. They have increased between 30 to 50% their revenues and sales. And last but not least, because we don't have to forget that we are still in a pandemic, in the middle of a pandemic, and we are still limited in our interactions, and this is why more than half of the conference is remote. Investing in these products, in local food products for local markets, can also be a tool that can ensure that companies are more resilient and that can face better the disruption of the market. And COVID was a clear case where these producers were capable of still selling locally, because their market is there and it's very near to them. And to close on a positive note, thanks to the excellent results in Morocco and in Tunisia, we were trusted again to continue with this methodology by SECO and to identify other 2 countries that had the potential to undergo this contest, the setup of this contest. And last year, right before the pandemic, we finalized the mapping reports for Egypt and for Georgia in the Caucasus region. And we are ready. We've been working throughout the pandemic and throughout the lockdown. And we are ready to launch the contest in 2021. We hope so, COVID allowing us. And the work is going on, which means that the sustainability is really achieved. And
Thank you so much.
Farrukh.
Thank you so much. Grazie, grazie. Thank you so much, Abby, for promoting such an important direction of regional brand development within our team. And I'm very happy that the interest from other regions, from the countries of the same region and other regions are growing. And we're basically also, together with DBI, stepping onto the same area of promoting other regions for the healthcare promotion, in particular in Burma region in China. Thank you so much for being with us. Let us go to Caribbean. Let us go to Cuba. And Mr. Ricardo Lazaro Trujillo Hervis. We've been knowing each other for quite a while. I'm happy that we've been launching this project together. And for the sake of time, because we're a little bit running out of time, and because of the previous session, I would like to kindly ask you, Dr. Tuhir, can you kindly share with us what benefits the chemical industry took from the project that we're currently implementing in Cuba, and what particular benefits you're expecting from the branding in it? Dr. Trujillo, ¿podría compartir con nosotros qué beneficios obtuvo la industria química del proyecto y qué papel jugó el branding en todo esto, por favor? Maybe there could be some connection, because we had some problems with connection with Cuba these days. Let us move to Namibia, to Southern African region. Dr. Humawindo, is he online?
I'm on. Can you hear me?
Dear Dr. Humawindo, thank you so much. Sarah Kelly represented you, but just to give a little bit more perspective of who you are, in which industry you work, you're currently occupying the position of Deputy Executive Director of Industrialization and Enterprise Development at the Ministry of Industrialization, Trade and SME Development in Namibia. But I know from your background, you've been to academia, to the private sector, to the research institutions. And you are with us for the project supported by Finland that is aimed to promote sustainable invasive bush value chains in Namibia from the invasive bush, the pest which is basically invading the land of Namibia, not allowing the traditional farming to happen and to create jobs, create value, and to contribute to the food security of the country. May I ask you, from all this perspective, from where you've been to private sector, institutions, government, what value added do you think the project is giving to Namibia, and what specific form the umbrella braiding have taken the place in order to turn the past into socio-economic enabler? The floor is yours, Dr. Humawindo.
Thank you very much, and appreciation for inviting us to the Brand Global Summit 2020. In terms of context, our agricultural sector in Namibia is heavily afflicted by a problem of bush encroachment, what we call invader bush encroachment. And that roughly affects 1/3 of our land space, around 30 million hectares, and the country has around 82 million hectares in terms of land size. And therefore, it seriously affects not only the agricultural sector, but also water management activities, as well as efforts to ensure that we that are in a dry country manage our water sustainably. So in terms of the actual project itself, then what we have done with UNIDO is to start a project in 2017 that is entitled Promoting Sustainable Bush Processing Value Chains in Namibia. And that focus on local economic and export potential stemming from the exploitation of encroacher bush as a raw material. Because although it is an invader bush, it can actually be turned into opportunities for animal feed, charcoal, and food industry value chains opportunities. So overall goal of the project is to ensure that we then promote value-added incomes, jobs, and exports generating activities by exploiting the invader bush. And then obviously the specific objective is to promote new technologies to ensure a sustainable business solution for the development of acacia-based value chains, such as cattle feed and charcoal and other biomass products. Now, the processes that we are utilizing in the project ensures that we do, in terms of our harvesting, what we call selective thinning processes, while we continue investigating technology solutions for producing value-added products. We also have done a lot of studies to look at the nutritional value of the invader bush, so that we are then able to ensure that it can show a direct link to livestock growth gains in terms of mass. and also to ensure that we come up with a relevant recipe formulation for the bush-based animal feed. The other thing is also that we have focused a lot with the project in terms of applying 4IR, Industrial Revolution technologies and digital tools in supporting targeted, responsible and sustainable bush thinning harvesting methodologies. And also we have applied the machine learning model for acacia species mapping through remote sensing texture image analysis, satellite, and also the utilization of drones, supported imagery recognition. Now, institutionally, in terms of time, institutionally, we have created a special purpose production plan, which is called Namibia Green Gold Processing, and that is in partnership with one of our agencies here for industrial development, which is the first of its kind to convert invasive bush species into livestock feed and charcoal. This is also a demonstrable example of a successful PPP in Namibia, public-private partnership, which was facilitated by UNIDO, and therefore it brought together governmental efforts, foreign technology, as well as private sector funding, because the project has secured funding from the private equity space, and to address this pertinent problem of invader bush. We have also produced substantial results in terms of the project. We have delivered a strategic action plan. We have delivered a feasibility study that shows that the production plan can be highly feasible, and that obviously attracted the private equity funding. And then also a market intelligence that ensured that the transfer of the Finnish technology, one of our key partners is the Finnish government, then paved the way for the operationalization of the production plan. Now, finally, in terms of the brand, that's what we are here for, in terms of branding aspects. What we have done there is that we have recently acquired a brand name, Bush Sustainable Harvesting, Nutri Pellets, and Bush Sustainable Harvesting for Bush BQ. So respectively, the Nutri Pellets are for the animal feed, and then the Bush Q is for the charcoal. And we also have ensured that we look at how do we develop end-use products by utilizing this branding. We also must ensure that the branding embodies eco-branding philosophy underpinned by the triple win solutions. We encroach bush thinning, obviously in terms of the harvesting, rangeland improvement that I've mentioned before, and underground water replenishment. As I said, we are a highly dry country, and therefore the branding should also signal to consumers as well as to the market and other stakeholders that the products that we are developing are also ensuring natural resource conservation in terms of water, decent job creation, and economic development through import substitution, because we import a lot of the animal feed from regional countries, and therefore this invasive bush species is now creating us an opportunity to be able to have a viable import substitution in terms of animal feed. Finally, in conclusion, we believe that this strong branding and marketing strategy for market relevant and higher value added products based on bush biomass is expected to contribute to long-term sustainability and the resilience of the company. The direct effects are very well clear in terms of bush job creation, ensuring environmental conservation, and then there's also other indirect effects around gender mainstreaming, because this brings a lot of opportunities for the youth and women in terms of harvesting jobs, but also downstream jobs in terms of packing, export opportunities for them that wants to do export of the animal feed as well as the charcoal. Namibia is among the top 10 countries in the world that export charcoal to various other countries in the world. I would like to thank you once again for inviting me, and I hope that I managed to do justice to your question in the allocated time of 8 minutes. I thank you.
Dr. Humamindo, thank you so much. It was a great pleasure, honor to have you during our session, and thank you so much for giving a good picture, good overview of how what we put to the bush sustainable branding is basically how it is materialized in Namibia, turning the past into the value added and creating jobs around that in the rural areas where the jobs are mostly needed. Thank you so much for being with us. By this, I would conclude our session, and you could have seen one of our debuts of our launched branding. This year, unfortunately, Cuban participants could not have joined, quite probably due to the technical problems. But I would like to say that the interest is growing, not among only developing countries, but also from emerging countries. The usual donor countries are approaching us, asking to assess opportunity to create the regional brands for their lagging regions. So we're having already hot 2 pipelines together with EBI on this, and we'll be looking forward to launch implementing those even this year, if even remotely, but we are ready for that as well. Thank you so much for being with us, and excuse us for a little bit delay in timing. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Farrukh. That was really great. Brands for competitiveness, creating sustainable growth. Thank you so much, Farrukh. Bravo.